In this video, you will learn how to turn yourself into John Wick. So without wasting any time, let's get started. So here I have the image of John Wick. If you want to download the image of John Wick, I will provide a link in the description box below so you can use it in your project. And then I also have an image of myself. And yeah. Okay. So what I want to do is I first want to cut out both of them. So in order to do that, I'm going to select myself and go to select and select end mask. I'm using Photoshop 2019, and then simply go ahead and bam, do that, and it's gonna automatically select that. Of course, you will have to select some parts, otherwise Photoshop will automatically select it for you, and simply go ahead and do that. Sometimes the selection is out, so you have to hold Alt and paint in so that we can do that. Once you're happy with the selection, just go ahead and hit OK. So you just have to do that. Hit OK. I already have cut out both of them. So this is me and this is John Wick. And now we have to merge both of them. But before we do that, we of course need some kind of a background. So what I will do is I will go ahead and duplicate the main image of the John Wick. Drag it, duplicate it, and then turn off one of them. And select this, and I have to cut out John Wick and make the whole background. So how we do that is by going and selecting this any selection tool and simply select John Wick. Let's see if it will work or not. Select John Wick roughly like that, and then hit shift backspace. Hit OK. No, you have to first right click and rasterize the layer, and then shift backspace, hit OK, and bam, the Wick is gone. Of course, it does not look as good as it should be. Just press Ctrl D, and then we can go ahead and use the healing brush. Increase the size, hold Alt, just hold Alt and select, and then just simply go ahead and heal this image, just like that. Oops. Just simply do that, and yeah, basically you have to fill in the area, and then I'm gonna do it from here also. So this is what it looks like. Now the Wick is gone and we have a simple plain background going on over here. It looks good to me. Now if we go ahead and just drag and drop the background down, and I'm gonna rename this to background. There we go. Cool. Now what we want to do is as you can see, if I can just simply drag and move John Wick, and it looks good. Cool. Now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and enable myself, and as you can see, the John Wick's legs and my legs are little too different, right? Because I messed up and my both legs are not parallel. However, in this case, his both legs are basically parallel. So what I think I should do is I should replace my legs with his legs. So let's quickly go ahead and do that. I'm gonna go ahead and resize John Wick by Ctrl T and resize him to match my size. And there we go. Cool. And I'm gonna hit enter. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and drag and drop the John Wick above, and then I'm going to go ahead and make a duplicate of him so that we don't mess up. And then simply go ahead and select the mask that you just made, press B to open up the paintbrush tool, increase the size of the brush, and press D to make the swatches black and white, and then hit X to toggle between the swatches. And if you paint in black, it will remove that, it will delete it or just hide the mask, and if you paint it white, you can remake the mask. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and select the mask, increase the brush size, set the flow to 100, and let it be in, and I'm going to paint in black so that I can just go ahead and remove his body, and I just need his legs. So I'm going to just simply go ahead and mask everything out except his legs. Bam. Cool. And I'm gonna also remove his coat because I have my own coat. Just like that. Cool. Bam. Now of course it does not look good, because the legs are not matching. And also we have to duplicate myself, and I'm gonna just disable or hide the John Wick, select myself, and go ahead and remove my own legs, just like that. Simple as that. And now I can re-enable John Wick's legs, and let's position them. Oops, select John Wick. Kind of like that, right? Maybe a little up. Yeah, there we go. Looks good now. Cool. And I think I should bring the legs down just like that, and this will be much better, much easier to do. I'm gonna go ahead and erase the legs from here because they're looking a little awkward. Just like this. Bam. Cool. Looks good. And then I can also go ahead and decrease the flow to, I don't know, 6, and then select myself and paint in black slowly, just in this area, so that the legs are properly gonna match. We're gonna just simply fade in, just double click, keep on clicking, and just simply fade in the legs so that they just simply match. Bam. So now the legs are properly at least matching, I guess. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead, and as you can see, this is little rotated to the left and this is straight. So we're gonna go ahead and select myself, Control T, and straighten this up a little bit. There we go. Cool. Bam. Looks pretty good. Now as you can see, the colors are not matching from myself and it is looking a little odd, right? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and match the colors from the subject and the background. So how we do that is by going and selecting the background and duplicating it and putting it on the top, just over here. Then go ahead and go to filter, blur, Gaussian blur, and then increasing the blur to somewhat like this and hit OK. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and set this to overlay. Bam. And as you can see, this is affecting the whole image. We don't want that. We only want to affect this part. So we're going to go ahead and hold Alt and click between the subject, that is me, and this guy. So as you can see, the colors are almost properly matching. Bam. Now it's looking good. We can of course decrease the opacity a little bit, just like that. Or we can simply go ahead and make a mask out of it. So make a mask, and then we can paint in or remove what we don't like. So press X, decrease the flow, and just tap in the areas where you don't want the effect, or where you think the effect is a little too much. Bam. Okay, there we go. Looks good. Nice. The colors are now properly matching. Now if we see the actual Keanu Reeves, as you can see, his hand is not that far away, but in my case my hand is a little too far away. So let's just simply fix that. How we do that is by duplicating myself again, and this time we only need the hand, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and select the mask and press B and paint in black to remove everything, increase the flow to all the way to 100, and then I only need my hand. So I'm gonna delete everything. So if I just simply do that, I am deleting everything except my hand. There we go. Cool. And then I'm gonna go ahead and come in here, actual one, and then I'm gonna go ahead and remove my hand from here, because we're gonna go ahead and change the orientation of the hand. There we go. Now I have no hand. There we go. If I do that and simply go ahead and say Control T and rotate the hand somewhat like that, move it a little up, and there we go. The hand is now properly matching. Little to left, little to right, and there we go. Cool. Awesome. Now if I hit enter, and of course this is looking a little awkward, so I'm gonna go ahead and paint in black to remove these edges. Bam. And of course this part of my hand is not the color corrected because of this, so I'm gonna duplicate this and do the same thing exact. There we go, looking properly nice. Now as you can see, my head is little too big, looking too big because I'm leaning forward, and John Wick is not leaning forward at all, so his head is symmetrical. But in my case, I'm leaning forward, and which is giving an effect that I have a big head. So I have to change my head also. I have to make my head smaller. So we are gonna do the exact same thing that we did for the hand, duplicate it again, put it on all the way on the top, and in this case we only need the head. I'm gonna go ahead and do that, increase the brush size and remove everything except the head. There we go. And I'm gonna enable that, and I'm gonna remove my head from here. Select the mask, remove the head. There we go. Now I'm gonna enable that and Control T and make it a little smaller. There we go. It looks properly good, I guess. I don't know. Now you can see the color is not matching with this one, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the same thing, duplicate this, and bam, there we go, looking good. Of course there is a little artifact somewhere over here, so I have to fix that too. Select this guy, the head, press B and simply paint in black to remove it, and then come over here and paint in black to remove it also from here. There we go. Cool. So now everything is properly matching. Okay, now what we want to do is we want to go ahead and add a pistol in my hand, so that will be also not that difficult. I'm gonna go ahead and select the Keanu Reeves. Here it is. So I'm gonna go ahead and duplicate it again. This one will be the form for the pistol. Select the mask and increase the flow and delete everything except his hand with the pistol. Zoom in. Oops. Be careful. There we go. And bam, and bam, and then again bam. Okay, so the hand is here and I have to position it somewhere over here, and this time I'm gonna quickly go ahead and remove this hand from here. So select myself, press B and remove my hand. There we go. And then enable the Keanu Reeves hand and then reposition it somewhere over here. And I will have to fade this in order to make it look natural. Is this position right? I guess it is positioned right. So now we have to fade this in. So how we do that is also pretty simple. We're gonna go ahead and again press B to open up here, and then decrease the flow to something like 6, and then simply tap it sometimes to simply fade it in. We go. So now the hand is properly matching also. And as you can see, this hand is not matching at all because this hand is little too bright and this hand is little too dark. So we have to fix this hand also. What you can do is you can go ahead and duplicate the John Wick's again, and we can use his hand again. So duplicate him and go ahead and select the mask and delete everything except his hand, his right hand this time. There we go. And now we have, of course, have to position his hand, and there is still something going on over here. Somewhere over here. Press Ctrl T, rotate it a little bit, just like that. And then of course we will have to remove my hand from the behind. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and press B, and then select myself and simply go ahead and remove the hand from here, and then enable this guy and then simply match it. So decrease the flow, tap it, oops, and there we go. The both hands are now properly matching. Now what we want to do is, as you can see in the hand, there is reflection, like there's some fire going on in this side, so the reflection of fire also in his boots, in his pants also. So of course we will have to add some reflections over here, because in the original picture of the Keanu Reeves, as you can see on his face, there is some reflection of the light, the flames, and also on his the right side of his coat. So we have to also make that. So let's quickly go ahead and make that. I'm gonna go ahead and disable him, and I'm gonna go ahead and make a new solid color and hit OK, and bring that solid color all the way on the top. Make the solid color orangish and hit OK. Select the mask and hit Ctrl I to invert the mask, and then I'm gonna go ahead and paint in the color. So press B, decrease the flow, and simply go ahead and paint in. With that done, what I want to do is I want to add little beard for myself, because in Keanu Reeves has some beard going on. I also want to add some beard. A solid color, and it will be black. Just bring the solid color all the way on the top. Oops. Solid color. Solid color, hit OK. Select the mask, say Ctrl I, and then you have to simply paint in your beard. And if it looks little too dark, so you can increase the brush size and just tap sometimes with the black, and it will look good. Or you can simply go ahead and decrease the opacity a little bit until you are satisfied with the result. I guess this will be good. And then lastly, I can go ahead and fill in the background. So Ctrl T, Shift, and bam, and then wham, there we go. And I can go ahead and center myself out. So select my legs, select my select this, 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 and simply go ahead and move them. As you can see, this is my, oh, I have to move my beard also, and center myself out. This will be the center, I guess. So center myself out. There we go. And then lastly, we can go ahead and add some brightness curves adjustment layers to increase the brightness, increase the contrast a little bit. We can add a hue saturation adjustment layer, increase the saturation or decrease the saturation a little bit, and it is all up to your taste. I can go ahead and add vibrance and decrease the vibrance a little bit, and then increase the decrease the saturation and increase the vibrance. And it's all up to your taste. And lastly, I like to add a color lookup table, and this is basically a color grading thing, and you can go ahead and press arrow keys to navigate between them. I'm gonna use this candlelit cube, and I'm gonna go ahead and decrease the opacity a little bit. There we go, and decrease the fill a little bit. There we go. And we can also do one more thing. I can go ahead and duplicate the background and move it all the way on the top, just over here. And then I'm gonna go ahead and add a Gaussian blur to it also. Hit OK, and this time I'm gonna set this to lighten. This will add a fog, and of course it looks really bad, but we can decrease the opacity a little bit and also decrease the fill a little bit. Then we can go ahead and make a mask, and then we can paint in the mask or paint out the mask where we don't want our glow to be. Increase the flow a little bit, and I don't want the glow to be over here. And there we go. This is our John Wick. This is what we started with, and this is what we end up with. Pretty cool. If you like this video, make sure you subscribe to my channel, and if you like this video, you can subscribe to my channel. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you in my next video. Till then, be cool.